Hello, it's Anya from Digital Painterly. I just wanted to show you really quickly in this tutorial how you can use the watercolor paper digital version with watercolor masks to turn your pictures into more, give it a character of watercolor painting. So let's start. In your pack you'll find a few different surfaces, which could be a paper or canvas. So I chose for this my favorite fine watercolor paper. So we got that first of all, and then we're going to drag mask, and just with your tool move it over, and then you can place it anywhere in your paper. It could be changed, so don't worry if you have it in the wrong place first of all. And the third thing is bringing our image, so again drag it over to your paper. So you have 3 different layers. Now all you need to do is click with your right button on your mouse, create clip-in mask, and that's how your image attaches itself just to that area of the black mask. So there are a few things to explain. You can move your image to fit nicely in the mask. If you want to make it smaller or bigger, just Control or Command T, and you're gonna see it gives you an option of a resizing. So I want my image to be roughly this size. Just gonna put it right here and click tick. Now I have that little area here which I'm not happy about and would like this image to look exactly cohesive. So let's go back, Control 0, and with a right click let's release clip-in mask, and that goes back to the normal picture. So now using my brush tool with a soft round brush, just sample that color with the Alt, and I'm painting now all those speckles. And don't worry, because we are going to clip that image and we will not see all that mess. So I might sample slightly darker brown from this area, make it a bit smaller, and honestly it doesn't have to be very precise. If you're not sure, just choose something very neutral. Oh, that wasn't right. And remember, you are staying on this layer, on the layer of your image. It will all make sense in a second. So make sure you got all those speckles covered. And now it's time create clipping mask, and everything is nicely covered, and it doesn't matter because we cannot see here, for example, if that's the picture, it's just the same color, so it works really well. So now to add a little bit of texture to this picture so it all looks watercolory texture, there are 2 ways doing this. Like you have here mode, you change into multiply, so it will give you that texture, but it also turns image slightly darker. That's just the way that mode works. So what you can do, you can go back to your image and make it slightly lighter, so image adjustment levels, and just with that slider bring it a little bit more. So it's up to you. You don't want to damage your photograph. Or other option, if we just go back this one to normal, there's another way. You can just leave it like this if you like, but if you want that texture, just go down to the paper, copy that, and now move that layer on the very top. And instead of this, we're going to turn that into multiply. And now you have a slightly more control in moving that texture in or out and make it more or less visible. Another thing you might want to change is you might not like some of the areas of the mask that might be a bit too disruptive or just don't work very well for that particular image, so you can just go to the mask area. Let's get rid of this one first of all. So going back to our mask and choose a soft black brush, soft round, and just gently, you can reduce the opacity and just really gently brush over so you don't lose completely that beautiful texture like here, but you definitely have, especially around the eyes or skin, you don't want that to be too distracting. Okay, so once you're done, you're ready, you can just go layer, flatten image, and that's your picture is ready. So that's all done. I just wanted to show you a couple more things. So we have artist canvas open, which is one of your surfaces, and mask number 27, which is quite faint and delicate one, but I'll show you how you can modify it and make it work for your image. And we're going to drag image into those two. So we're going to resize first of all this picture, Control T, and let's make it slightly smaller with our transform tool. We can come back to this when we have more visibility. So now we're going to just make sure we color those little couple speckles right here, so there is no problem with anything missing. And all we have to do is hit create clip-in mask. So as you can see, this picture is a little bit, just a bit too fainty for my liking. It's a beautiful effect, but I would like this to show a little bit more. So let's go back, release clip-in mask, and now I'm going to double copy that layer with the mask a couple of times. I'm going to turn off visibility for our picture and for our background, and now I'm going to go to layer, merge visible, so that just becomes a little bit stronger. Let's go back on here, and now let's see if that works a bit better. Create clipping mask. Yes, so we can see much better now. It still have that beautiful watercolor quality in the edges, which we absolutely love. And then let's go back to black brush on our mask layer and bring just a little bit of here. I want to see her face really well, so with a black brush at 100% opacity, just bring it gradually back in. And here I'm happy to have that over spilling, that's absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it a little bit more texture. So on here I'm going to go to multiply, and as you can see the image is slightly darker, so I'm just going to go to my original image and go image adjustment levels and just make it a little wrong one, so the one on the right, it brings a light in. That's fine. Okay, and let's have a look. So you can see that texture is working pretty nicely on the picture. Thank you so much. I hope you find it useful. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. You'll find a link in the description to my Etsy shop, where you can find those masks and surfaces in the one bundle.